السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings be on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. نزلت الرسالة على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. He received a message from Allah. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. He came to tell his wife and his close friends sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and then his family members. Very few of them listened to him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The rest were neutral, and some opposed him like Abu Lahab. And then the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after 3 years, he was ordered to make it public. He went on As-Safa, the mountain of As-Safa, and he started making it publicly. And then it was Abu Lahab also who, his uncle, who stood against him from beginning. The Quraysh people started, discussing how should we do with this new thing that's going on, especially since the season of Hajj is coming close. And Hajj came, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was trying to make it peaceful. He's just reaching to people one-on-one. Hajj is over. Everybody in Arabia came to know about Islam in a way or another, or that there is a prophet or somebody who is saying he's a prophet in Mecca. From now on, Quraysh started taking it serious. They had another meeting, and they started discussing, what should we do? We should take some steps. And we discussed last time that they followed certain strategies to oppose the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Islam and Muslims in general. The first of these strategies, if you remember yesterday, what was the first strategy they followed? Insulting and making fun of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Muslims. جاءكم ملوك الأرض. Here comes to you the kings of earth, because they used to be weak and simple people, but they used to make fun of them. That was one of the strategies they followed with them. They also followed another strategies with the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Muslims by trying to cast doubts for Muslims and what they believe in and so on. They said it's just dreams coming to him, devil talking to him. إنما يعلمه بشر. It's just a human being. إفك افتراه وأعانه عليه قوم آخرون. Some other people are helping him. أساطير الأولين اكتتبها. Tales and stories from the past he memorized and he came to know, and now he is reciting to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we quoted the ayat, refuted all of that. The third strategy is that they decided, alright, it's not going to work, all of these. Let's discuss and dispute and try to logically refute what he is saying. And three main issues that they focused on. The first issue was التوحيد. أجعل الآلهة إلها واحدة. That they couldn't understand how gods, for them it was gods, could be one God, because that was his call, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the mission, how could God choose a man, a human being? They couldn't understand this, or they refused to understand it. The third issue was al-ba'th ba'd al-maut, resurrection after death, coming back to life again. It was not, they disputed in all of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started refuting this in the Quran. As far as resurrection after death, they exclaimed, تعجبوا أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا. Is it true, like after we die and become dust? ذلك رجع بعيد. Is it true that we come back again? That's like far to happen. It's not going to happen like that after we. وقال الذين كفروا هل ندلكم على رجل ينبئكم إذا مزقتم كل ممزق إنكم لفي خلق جديد. They used to, make this fun and talking to each other. Shall we tell you about the man who is claiming that when we die and we share, being completely gone, that we will be returned again, a new creation? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refuted that. ضحر الله عز وجل ذلك. Allah replied to that, responded to that. ما لكم كيف تحكمون أفنجعل المسلمين كالمجرمين. We see it in this life. Not all people, are being dealt equally from what we see. There is no ultimate justice here. Some people might live very poor, some people might live very rich, some people kill millions and they might live good. We see how Allah created the universe. Everything is, as far as the sun, the moon, the sea, the earth. But as far as people, we see things. So how could you think Allah would make the good like the bad, there should be some kind of justice. We see it's not happening here, so there should be resurrection for this to happen later on. Well, that's not easy for you to understand. Let me give you another. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reveal to them other ayat. أَأَنْتُمْ أَشَدُّ خَلْقًا أَمِ السَّمَاءِ. Is it you? So it's hard for you to believe that you're going to be resurrected. So is it harder for Allah to create you? Your creation is harder, bigger, or the creation of as-sama? So Allah created things bigger than you. So He can create you again, recreate, resurrect you again, if He is already creating things that are way bigger than you. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَمْ يَعْيَ بِخَلْقِهِنَّ بِقَادِرٍ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يُحْيِيَ الْمَوْتَى. Didn't they see that Allah, the one who created the skies and earth, and He was not overwhelmed by that? It has not affected Him, nothing. Didn't they think or they see that He will be able to bring them back to life? He created bigger creation, so you should be very easy for you to recreate it again or resurrect it again. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ النَّشْأَةَ الْأُولَى فَلَوْلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. You all know. Allah is talking to them and talking to us. You know the first creation. فَلَوْلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. You know how you were created. Created from ماء مهين, نطفة, علقة, a drop, semen. That's nothing. That's like something that should go to the bathroom or something. You are created from that. So Allah created from فَلَوْلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Don't you think? Don't you remember? So the one who created you from that is able to bring you back to life. كَمَا بَدَأْنَا أَوَّلَ خَلْقٍ نُعِيدُ. As we started the first creation, or this creation at the first time, we resurrected. It's easy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, He even said in Surah Al-Rum, وَهُوَ أَهْوَنُ عَلَيْهِ. And it's even easier. When you have nothing, you start from the scratch, from zero. That's, harder than there was something that was on and you destroyed and then you rebuild it. So starting from zero is harder. He started you from zero, from nothing. Now recreating you, rebringing you shouldn't be harder. أَفَعَيِينَا بِالْخَلْقِ الْأَوَّلِ. Did it, overwhelm us to create you at the beginning, to create the creation at the beginning? So the one who created us, created the creation at the beginning, is able, subhanahu wa ta'ala, to bring them back to life. So obviously they didn't have anything to say against that. The second issue was Risalat al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the mission of al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yes, they agreed he was an honest, he was a good person, from good family and everything, but they used to believe that mansub al-nubuwwah, the status, the position of prophethood, somebody to be a prophet, he should be an angel. That does not happen to human or mankind. That's what they believed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayat. First they wondered, وَقَالُوا مَا لِهَذَا الرَّسُولِ يَأْكُلُ الطَّعَامِ. A messenger eats food like us. وَيَمْشِي فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ. He walks in the markets just like a human being like us. بَلْ عَجِبُوا أَنْ جَاءَهُمْ مُنذِرٌ مِّنْهُمْ. They kind of wondered and exclaimed that a warner from them came to them. فَقَالَ الْكَافِرُونَ هَذَا شَيْءٌ عَجِيبٌ. That's strange. That's مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَى بَشَرٍ مِّن شَيْءٍ. And they used to say, as Allah said in the Quran, Allah did not reveal nothing to a human being. That's impossible. It couldn't happen. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started refuting that easily. All of these people, they used to believe in prophets. They believed in Ibrahim, in Musa, in Ismail. They believed in all of these prophets. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them, قُلْ مَنْ أَنزَلَ الْكِتَابَ الَّذِي جَاءَ بِهِ مُوسَى. So who is the one that revealed the book that Musa brought? You believe in Musa, so Musa was a prophet, was a human being. So you already believe that human beings can be bashar. And it was the same way of the people before them. People before them, every time they say to the prophets, إِنْ أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا. Just like human beings like us. They used to say, yes, إِنْ نَحْنُ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَمُنُّ عَلَى مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Yes, we are human beings like you, but Allah favored and chose whomever He wants. It's Allah's business, subhanahu wa ta'ala. He chooses whomever He wants. It's not because it shows me that you don't like. Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'al. Allah knows when He puts His mission, His risala. Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalata. Then they started saying, he should be an angel. Allah said, وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ مَلَكًا لَجَعَلْنَاهُ رَجُلًا. وَلَلَبَسْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ مَا يَلْبِسُونَ. Well, if you want a messenger to be an angel, how could an angel communicate with a human being unless he comes in a form of a human being, talk the language of a human being? And then you will say the same thing. If we send an angel in a shape of a human being, you would have said the same thing. How could a human being come to us? And so on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also refuted this for them in Surah Al-An'am. Then they said, alright, it could be in a human being and everything, but أَلَمْ يَجِدِ اللَّهَ غَيْرَ هَذَا الْيَتِيمِ الضَّعِيفِ وَكَذَا. They said he could be a human being, but Allah didn't find nobody but this weak person, orphan person, to send. لَوْلَا أُنزِلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. If only this Quran could be revealed to one of the two cities who is great, like somebody who was like a great person, like the class thing was there, referring to Mecca or Taif. Mecca or Taif, is that the only one in the panhandle area that Allah chose? Allah knows who to choose. Allahu a'lam haythu yaj'alu risa'ahum yaqsimuna rahmat rabbik. Is it them that divide the mercy of your Lord and nubuwwah or risala or kada, prophethood? No. So Allah is the one who chooses, it's not you who choose. And then they said he should be a king of the kings of the dunya where he have guards and people around him and so on. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was meant to be a prophet for all people after him. So if he would be, and most of people are not, most of the people are middle class people, either poor or needy or just like, not all of them are that high class. So if a Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would be like a king, he might not be a good example for everybody to follow. And he had, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he had the capacity, if he wants to live as a king or as a very rich person, it was actually offered to him to be Malikan Rasulan, to be a king and messenger, or Abdan Rasulan, and he chose to be Abdan Rasulan, a human being or a slave, or just a normal lay person, not a king, Now, أما قضية التوحيد, as far as the last and third issue they had issues with, and this was the main one, التوحيد or monotheism, that was the big one. Allah, they used to have certain kind of tawheed, أيها الأكارم. This is very important. They admitted Allah as being the creator. وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهِ. If you ask them who created heaven and sky and earth, they will say Allah. سَخَّرَ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ. Who is taking care of the sun and the moon and earth, and أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, and sending water to you from the sky. Who is doing all of it? They will say Allah. Allah said this in the Quran. They believed in Allah, the one in the heaven, as the one who is doing all of that, giving them food. They believe that He is the one who can harm, benefit, give rizq, create, all of that. But as far as worship, they used to say, they used to be either prophets, righteous people in the past, in the previous time, that their people used to respect very much. Then they die. They start making some statues for them. They start to build certain things on their graves, glorify them in a certain way or another. Respect turns to reverence or extreme respect, and then over the years, generation after generation, it turns to be ibadah. So they said, alright, Allah, yes, He is the one that has all the powers, but He might give power to this righteous man, Manat, Al-Uzza, Al-Lat, whatever, Suwa'a, and they started believing in all of that, proxies of God or so, that Allah give them certain kind of powers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would refute all of that in an ayat. For the sake of time, inshallah, I will stop here, and next time we know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would refute all of these يدحض كل هذه الشبهات, all of these doubts, and then after they fail discussing and disputing with Muslims, they will move to another strategy that's completely different. We will get to know about that next time, inshallah. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خيرا.